Hi, I'm Keegan, and this is our 5th session, I believe, of our Realms of Pugmire game. 5th or 4th.
Is it? Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh, if you count episode 0.
Yeah.
Oh, yes, that's fair.
Yeah.
So, I'm just going to go around the table and have my players introduce their characters.
I'm Thomas, playing Sheen.
I'm Michael, playing Bernard.
I'm Mike, playing Tagbard.
I'm Christine, playing Vesper.
So, last time, you'd begun wandering through the woods of the fearful forest to try and seek out this Temple of Man. During that time, you found the hidden village of Barkington with its shield generator, and while moving through, you had come across several giant ant drones and had to battle them before you could continue on your journey. So,
I still rode one.
okay.
Can you imagine what we could have carried back with them?
Exactly! Work animals, that's what we need. We need a pack animal. We have to find the queen. You had a great idea.
So,
It wasn't supposed to be a suggestion.
I will need a traverse or a navigation, which will be
Survival?
Benjamin?
Yeah. Your bonus was +4, I think?
+5.
+5.
Wow.
Okay. You begin to continue along on your journey.
Trying to avoid the ants, I'm assuming.
I would assume, but who knows, right?
I think they would be useful.
You
If
want
we
to...
have a lot of relics to bring back.
Why don't we find the relics first?
Instead of becoming them?
Just saying, if we have the ants before we get the relics, we don't have to worry about carrying the relics and fighting ants until we capture them.
because we'll be dead.
We didn't die last time.
There were 5 ants! 4!
Fine.
Do you know how many ants live in a colony?
We lure one out and then catch it, obviously.
Have you ever even seen one ant anywhere?
Obviously, I rode one not too long ago. So yes.
As you're
It'd be
crunching
like,
through, you hear
Honey, I Shrunk the
voices in the distance. Some talks. Yes.
What do we
Bernard.
hear?
You're hearing talking, one voice kind of bellowing, a few squeaky voices as well. On the wind you hear, "Can't believe we got pulled this far into the forest.
Interesting.
We need to move. We'll have to try and get back." Ugh.
Do you remember the name of the group we ran into before?
Yes. The group didn't have a name as such.
It's just the name of the dog.
Wrex?
I'm gonna call out Wrex.
Norix here!
Yeah.
Who are you?
Bernard.
What in the name of man are you doing this far off into the forest? As you hear one go, "It might be one of them leaping bear things."
We'll make sure to come out so you know we're not one of those leaping bears.
Wait a minute. What if they're one of the leaping bears?
I'm not too concerned since we're all going to go.
Oh, are we
fair.
now?
I mean, Vesper, if you want to stay here and make sure none of the leaping bears sneak up on you, you're welcome to.
We should probably stay together just in case.
That's... We suggest moving as a group. We can head towards each other.
Alright. Do not be surprised if we have a few weapons drawn on you.
Expected.
Safety's sake, I thought we should keep that formally open.
Oh, trust me. Got no problem with that air.
As you move out, you see 2 dogs covered in mud. One has several scars now, clearly healed recently. 3 cats who are shaking with daggers at their sides, and 3 dual-wielding rats with daggers.
Oh.
Greetings.
Greetings.
So, what brought you guys out here?
We were doing a basic job, trying to find some buried plastic for a client. Then we got attacked by some leaping bear creatures.
Yeah, they're a problem.
Berathrags.
Is that what they're called?
Aye. They'll imitate other people, dogs, cats, lure you out, eat you.
They attacked you.
We found the nest of them.
Oh. Whereabouts?
It's hard to tell since they were dragging us, laughing, and throwing us around.
But you escaped?
Barely. Had to make some hard decisions. We had to leave some of our injured behind.
You think they're still alive?
No, not after the screams.
How long ago was this?
A few days ago, we've been wandering this blasted forest for days. Moving to the west, there's a few hills that are starting to lead up into the mountain range.
And what got you out here?
We were looking for some buried plastic. Found the map.
Oh, really? Find the treasure?
We thought we did. We found where it was supposed to be buried, and at that moment, the creatures fell on us.
Do you still have the map?
No. It was on one of the injured.
I'm gonna pull out our map.
Did it look anything like this?
No.
Alright.
No, it was closer to the river. Hand-drawn. More recent.
Alright.
Do you know who drew it?
Yes, it was our client.
Who's your client?
Just a simple dog up in Pugmire.
So the real question is, do you know who your client is, or was there a level of deception you think involved?
No, it was... We know who our client was. Basic. Lives in Pugmire, but has a strong business association with Waterdog, if you catch my meaning.
Oh,
problem.
of course.
Do you know how to get out of this wretched forest?
You're gonna want to head east.
Aye.
Which direction
Or
is
no.
that?
No, it is west, because we're headed east.
Yes.
So, no, west. Gonna go that way.
Alright. Is there anything we need to be worried about?
The
The Berathrags
Berathrags
are the big thing. We have ran into ants around here.
big
Ants.
ants.
Okay. Giant ants or something. It'll be difficult to avoid, but good to know.
Yeah. Show 'em how to get to Barkington.
There is a town that is nearby.
Oh,
As long as they let you in, you'll be fine.
oh
They
good.
seem to be a kind lot, so they had us come in, gave us food. It'll be a safe place to stay for the night.
Excellent. Good to know. Thank you.
Be prepared to trade. They don't have, I guess a better way to say it would be, there's a limit, I think, to their hospitality, particularly for large groups.
Understood.
Do you require healing?
I think I'll make it,
Okay.
but I thank you.
I'm gonna roll sense motive to see if they're gonna be a threat to people in Barkington. Ooh. 8.
They seem fine.
One more question.
Hmm.
Wasn't Benji what sent you out here, was it?
No, Benji's a competitor of our client.
Oh. Oh.
Good dog though, Benji. We've done work for him before.
Aye. Well, safe travels.
To you too. Be careful. To the north of here, which looks like the direction you're going. I'd be warned. There's we heard some creeping creatures out that way, and we have noticed that there are bandits or badgers moving around.
Yeah.
Thanks. Also, there's a very, very big creature with a dog head and a cat head. Try to avoid him.
Oh, yeah, I would not even dream of fighting that. Thank you for the warning.
Safe travels.
To you as well.
So, buried treasure?
If that is... They're very far off course from where they described their map.
Nevertheless, if we recover it, we could recover the map. We could pick up the treasure on the way back. Not to mention helping Barkington out with the Berathrag problem.
How many animals were in that group we just spoke with? And how many do we have in our group?
They had about 8.
We'd have to find the right
Yes.
Berathrag nest, which we don't know which one that is. We'd have to then get the map. And then we'd have to also return back to the coast and not miss our ship.
And also survive the nest.
Well, who knows? They might have been amateurs.
Still, I'm pretty sure they had more than we did. Something just to be concerned about if we would like to get the relics and return home.
Oh, sure. Relic's a relic, but nothing spends like plastic.
Just
Not to mention, again, taking care of the Berathrags would help everybody around here.
But that's got to be a lot of Barathrags.
Maybe. It sounds like they were taken by surprise.
Maybe, but the Barathrags are very
We've
opportunistic.
Eradicating them would be like eradicating all of the giant ants.
I doubt there are that many. Besides, the ants don't have a treasure map.
we don't even know for sure that the treasure map still exists at this point.
We haven't actually fought any of these Berathrags. Could be pushovers. Seem to run away.
If you
That's
want to
what
walk in
scares me.
front and you want to start this off, by all means, I will watch.
They said north?
North is other things.
Ah, right. Well, can always keep an eye out.
But shouldn't we be switching to heading east?
Well, you've been going northeast for
Yeah.
a while. So now it's almost pure north at this point on your map.
Okay, it is north. Alright.
Well,
Let's
The
continue.
sun is setting, though, at this point,
Alright.
as you're moving along, so you'll probably want to make camp. The forest here is dense of a mixture of evergreens and deciduous trees. And as you start setting up camp, Willard's like, I wonder what sort of noises they heard.
Yeah, it's a forest. There's lots of noises.
That's true. This is quite the cursed forest, though.
I imagine the Berathrags will try to lure us out again with their mimicry.
Yes, very, very likely.
So, don't fall for it.
No
By no
promises.
means.
Just stay in the camp.
Acceptable.
Still no fire.
Also acceptable. So, I suppose you should all figure out watches or whatever it is as he gets into his bedroll. And
I guess I'll take first watch.
Alright.
Alright, I'll take the second.
perception alertness.
Third then. You want to get last?
Sure.
A 4?
There doesn't appear to be anything out there.
We're probably pretty good, guys. Pretty calm, quiet night.
No earthquake.
Yeah,
13.
no earthquakes tonight.
You hear kind of the sounds of the midnight creatures, owls hooting and the like. You see the Barathrags leaping over the trees, but they're a fair amount of distance away, and they don't seem to want to get any closer to this location.
Alright.
16.
Alright. Much the same. You notice that the Barathrags seem to be circling in a bit of frustration, but then you see them starting to head southwest.
Okay.
But
12.
12. The night finally just kind of quiets down. The Barathrags are gone by the time you're up. And with a few final fading noises of the night, the sun rises and the violet hues of the sky can be glimpsed partially through the heavily wooded ceiling.
Well, onward it is then. I wonder if Berathrags can read a map. You think they value plastic?
Probably not.
And they're intelligent.
Even if they don't value plastic, they may value things that other people clearly covet.
Oh, yeah.
They may,
Like
not, they may just want it.
as bait. I wonder how much they've managed to accumulate.
probably not enough to justify a suicide mission into a nest that we don't know where it is or how many creatures may or may not be around it.
It's only suicide if you die.
Yes, that is exactly what that means.
You diagnose the problem.
I'd just like to point out that they do seem very cowardly. So for there to have attacked that large group we saw, there must have been a lot of them.
Nice.
Shepard makes a very good point.
Can't deny it.
Or perhaps they had other allies with them, say a two-headed creature maybe.
That thing doesn't seem very smart, though.
They might be able to corral it.
For
with that.
your survival check.
Okay.
So, you start guiding them northward as the trees begin to transition from a mixture of evergreens and deciduous trees to just pure evergreens as it starts to open up and you start getting to the hills. As the hills roll up and down as you continue to move through, and you see upon the edges of the hills and the mountains, or the hills, a cave system that goes down with what appear to be almost comedically oversized swords and spears jutting from the hill. They kind of resemble the tower back in Barkington, but in horrible disrepair, with the cave leading in right under them.
Huh.
Is this what we think we're looking for?
As you look on your map, it does seem to say relic here.
Well then.
And it looks like the tower from Barkington?
Like a disrepaired version, like they're bent, twisted beams of steel. So they look more like swords and spears at this point.
Okay.
As they're decayed, some are actually have beams crossing them to create kind of like a X-frame or a cross-like pattern.
Want to take a closer look at them.
So you climb the hill?
Yep.
You start investigating it.
9 for notice.
So you're looking around and you do notice that these beams have an H-like form, like a large H moving up, with smaller bits of steel inside of them wedged, looking like they were connecting to something else at the time. Upon a little scraping of the topsoil, you do notice fragments of glass.
How tall
Interesting.
are these?
They vary in size. Some come up only about 5-6 feet, while others still tower at an impressive 30 feet into the air.
Can we climb them?
Yes. That's movement, and that's a stamina check. Or navigation.
I believe it would actually be traverse.
Or traverse, yeah, which is a stamina.
If these are the relics, we are gonna need your ants.
I think they're just steel beams.
Just? Dogs never built anything like this. Nor cats. This is man's work here.
I didn't say it wasn't man's work. I'm just saying,
Okay.
we know the parts that were important of the tower. Well,
Okay.
as far as we can tell,
You get a couple handholds and you go up about...
there was more than just steel beams for it to produce what it did.
So, you start climbing up, you get about 10-15 feet before it starts to get a little slick as you sit on one of the cross beams to look out over the hills. You get a very excellent view of the hills, and you can actually see in the very far distance, just barely cresting over the peaks of the trees on the horizon, the Tower of Barkington.
I can see Barkington from here.
Brilliant! See anything else?
Nothing worth noting at this point.
No giant anthills?
No. Nose check.
Yeah, roll.
That would be a 15.
You do see that there are towers of what appear to be sand and cleared trees in the forest, just barely southwest of you.
Boys, I think we found our pack animals.
Oh, where are they?
Not too far from here, southwest, it looks like there might be some ant colonies.
Southwest between here and Barkington. Mark that on the map.
Will do.
Anything else? Better throgs?
No other creatures from what I can tell. Why don't you climb up here and see yourself?
I'm more concerned our cat climbed up the tree and got stuck.
Alright, I'll come get you.
Are you agile enough to get up here?
Depends, is it a strength check?
It's a stamina, I believe.
Constitution.
Constitution.
Constitution? Oh.
Play a lot of werewolf. Stamina in that.
6.
You kind of get there, but you don't get a good handhold, so you don't even get as far as Vesper. You're kind of hanging on, and you see, like, maybe a quarter of an inch of the tower of Barkington before you start sliding down, and it slowly passes the horizon.
I'll just go ahead and jump down.
Okay.
And land on my feet, of course.
Of course.
Of course. Well,
Well,
shall
into
we?
the caves, then.
And to the caves.
You enter the caves. You start moving down the caves. Go down at a fairly steep angle, but nothing too terribly bad either. The rock is fairly easy to walk, and it does look like someone took some time to take a pick to this area to create almost footstep or places to step on the way down, though it doesn't look like they excavated this in any way, shape, or form. As you get to the edge, you see massive doors of steel.
Can we hear anything as we're going further?
You hear the echoes of your steps and the drops of stones as you see the giant steel doors
Open or closed?
closed.
Can we open them?
There's enough light streaming in from the opening of the cave, but is it starting to get
Yeah, it's
dimmer?
starting to dim.
I would like to get out my torch
Okay.
and light it.
So you light. Vesper lights her torch. Does anyone else want to light a torch?
Thanks. I want to keep my hands free.
I'll pull one out.
Alright, Bernard pulls out a torch as well as the light illuminates the beautiful steel doors, almost perfectly slick and flat.
Is there any are there any kinds of knobs or wheels or buttons?
There
or-
is a kind of indentation in the door.
Does it open?
As you push, it does creak open slightly as it swings open and you begin to enter the building. The room is vast with several marble pillars that climb up and merge with a stone floor and a marble-like ceiling with veins of silver visible through the cracks.
It's amazing.
The north wall curves like a semicircle with an altar with the legs of a long-since destroyed statue remain. Fragments of bone, food, and fur litter the floor. This area seems fairly well traversed. There are 2 doors, one to the east and the other to the west. The western door is a few feet further north than the eastern door.
Man be praised.
I'd like to go closer to the altar
Okay,
and investigate, see if there's anything
give me a roll, please.
for notice.
Yes, I believe that's
That would be a 16.
okay. As you're looking around, you do notice that there is a seam under the statue, that the statue could be pushed off, and something could be found within the altar.
Somebody come help me move this. I think there might be something here.
Sure.
Alright, it is a strength check. If someone helps, you get the advantage. Whoever has the highest strength.
I probably I've got proficiency with strength
strength checks.
So
Okay.
do I.
Oh,
Cool.
What's your strength?
+2, so it'll be a total of +4.
I have +3.
Nice.
so total +5. So she gets the advantage. So she gets to roll twice.
Oh, okay.
That was a 5.
Alright.
And a 4.
Ooh, you're just like,
Well, total would be.
No,
10.
advantage is you just take the higher
Oh, okay.
of the 2.
So it would have been 10.
Yeah.
Not a good.
So as you start,
Struggling.
you're struggling. The statue's not really moving. You see a little dust kind of scraping along, but the statue seems immovable, at least initially.
Well, I would have gotten a 15 if I rolled.
Try without me.
Can we do that?
Yeah.
Maybe you big
Yeah,
strong
try.
dogs.
Roll it
can
again.
Also give him the advantage.
Yeah, this takes, so the only different thing is this is going to take about 30 minutes of effort. So basically it's just another 30 minutes of effort
Okay.
pushing.
I'm gonna look around. What kind of traffic? Like,
You notice the majority. There is some traffic from the eastern door, but not much. There is a fair amount of traffic, and where all the food seems to come from the western
Food?
door. Like the food scraps and things like that, and the fur specifically.
Kinds of fur.
You'll have to do a survival check to.
All right.
So that would be a 10 or a 16.
16. So about 30 minutes of you two pushing, the thing starts to slide. 18? It's badger fur.
Yeah, that's what I figured.
But badgers can be reasoned with.
Hmm.
As you start pushing, the top starts to slide as you all hear it, the grinding of the altar. The stone scrapes against stone, and the statue legs hit the ground with a metallic clunk. You look inside, and you see a set of armor that suddenly awakens
Oh!
and goes in for a slam. It's a surprise check. You were the one who pushed it open, so what's your defense?
16.
Okay, so it has the advantage. It misses as the armor steps up, and we're going to roll for initiative.
Oi!
There it is.
There it is. And I'll just go around the table to get initiatives first, and I'll put them in order. Thomas?
16. Sorry.
Okay, so
Should have just shown it in binary.
Bernard,
22.
Tagbard,
9. He surprised me.
and Vesper.
17. We would trade
Okay,
love
Bernard?
like in love.
I will shoot the armor.
Okay,
Does it look like there's something in the armor, or is it just...
it's an empty suit of armor, it seems, that's moving, at least without any joints. Like it's metal that moves.
Oh, it doesn't have any
He's-
joints?
Is it like plate armor?
It looks similar, but it's different too. There's something odd about it. Like the visor is down, and there is a slight cool glow of blue from the visor.
21 to hit.
21 hits.
Right off the armor.
11 points of damage. Does it do anything?
It strikes the armor. It chips away at chunks of it. Actually, the armor creaks. The arrow strikes, and you notice a kind of cool blue mixed with like clear liquid escaping it.
Huh.
Well, it bleeds.
I hope this isn't the artifact.
Vesper?
I'm going to try to stab it.
It's just going to come in smaller
It's
pieces
right there
than
in
they
my face
expected.
anyway.
Yeah.
So,
Make your attack roll.
13 to hit.
13 hits.
Sorry. It's going to be 5 points of damage.
Alright. That's 5 points of damage.
And then I'm going to like to use my bonus action.
Okay.
And that is a 16 to hit.
Okay.
And that will be, 9 points of damage.
9 points. The armor sputters and stops. It lands, and you see the armor kind of crink on itself as the clear liquid evaporates as it's being released.
I'll definitely want to take this back with us. Anything else in the...
There is. So you do find under the armor what appears to be a rotted book. Ancient beyond words.
I would like to read the book.
Okay. You can start looking at the book. This will take about an hour of time.
Guys, we might not want to do this. There are badgers here.
Hmm.
Oh,
True.
how about I put the book in my bag?
Alright, you have to be very careful. As you notice moving it, pages are already crumbling and disintegrating.
Do you have any way to preserve it, Shepard?
Not sure. Do I have any way of preserving it?
Unless you have any spells.
Not that I can think of.
Ooh, nice. Try that again. 20
Now,
or...
the armor itself
Well,
is
some of the
super
defensive
damaged.
spells
Yeah, it's
work.
super
It's
damaged
like
now. Like, it's scraped up beat to hell.
all parts of it, or just the main body portion that we would have been striking.
Various pieces, because in its defense counts as like it bringing its armor to try and defend it, it's slicing through, etc., etc.
How's...
I'd like to lift the visor up, just look inside and kind of.
You lift the visor up, there's this kind of like steam comes out, nearly immediately. It's the same kind of steam from the joints.
Oh,
Inside it
weird.
seems completely hollow now.
How's a 20 wisdom check for odds and ends to see if I thought to bring anything that could preserve delicate artifacts?
You'll have it, but it will take an intelligence check to do it properly, and it will take
Okay.
time.
Hmm.
It does take time.
Would take the time to preserve it.
Okay.
It's worth it.
It takes about 30 minutes.
Do I have to do the intelligence check?
No, you do not. You just have
Okay.
to give the equipment over.
Who's got the
I
highest
think-
intelligence?
I think our shepherds.
Not me.
I got a +2.
Do it. Can I assist?
No.
No.
I'll
This
share
is
it on.
this is a meticulous sort of process.
I'll try really hard not to bump
Am
into
I
him
rolling
while he's
then?
doing
Yeah,
it.
you're rolling.
You're the shepherd.
That is a 15 +2 is 17.
It takes the better portion of about 45 minutes, but you do meticulously preserve the pieces of the book.
Good job, shepherd.
Here.
Carry that.
Store that.
Now, shall we poke around?
Do we want to take at least a piece or two of this armor for later investigation?
I think that's a good idea.
I'll grab like a.
The armor is hard as steel, but it bends like plastic in the parts that you broke it, as if the whatever was fueling the armor disregarded the wounds. It hits a part that is as strong as steel, feels like steel, and snaps off like plastic, but isn't plastic.
Aye. We should take as much of this as we can carry.
These gloves, boots, anything small enough that we can carry for now,
Aye.
and then maybe come back. So
So the
As you
badgers...
pull them off, as you see the steam coming out once again,
Wish
is there
we
any
could...
noticeable like odor, or is it pure steam?
it's steam. It has kind of an acrid smell to it.
but nothing we would recognize.
No, I mean, closest thing it would smell like is fortified wine, without any of the fruit notes.
Is it hollow?
Yes.
Okay. Like completely hollow?
Yeah.
Like...
Yep.
Fascinating. So, the badgers came from that door?
Most of it's from the west.
Yes.
So we should go
We
to
should
the east.
go through the other door.
I would suggest the east.
As you enter the doors, all the doors here are metal. Once again, as you click it open, you do notice though around the edges, the doors have the finishing of wood, a woodish texture to them that is also smooth. As the door opens and you see the hallway, it's not so much that it has stone walls, it is that it looks like whatever was around this area collapsed, creating the hallway that you now have access to. There's a door on the other edge. The hallway is about 50 feet long.
And rubble, basically?
And you have about 10 feet in width to maneuver.
So it was a larger room.
Yes. The doors ahead of you look wooden, but there is a streak of metal down the side of one of them with a rock sitting in front of the door. Not too far, or enough for the door to be opened, obviously, but the rock is there in front of the door.
Odd. Praise be man, but they were kind of strange.
Cautiously head down the hallway.
You cautiously head down the hallway.
Get up to where so there's a rock door.
Yep.
Is there a handle for opening the door?
There is a handle. It's a doorknob, actually.
Without moving the rock, I'll slowly peek in.
You slowly peek in. You peek in and you see a large circular room filled with the various bones of several different kinds of animals, as well as a few badger corpses. Easily 5 or 6. You have to bring in your torch to see a bit more.
Well,
Have I
Found
hit
the
the rock
badgers.
yet?
No, not yet.
Okay, I will.
Keep going.
Yeah.
So you get there. You notice that it just scrapes just by the rock. It doesn't. The door will not actually hit the rock.
Okay.
And you're pulling. As you continue to open, the light begins to spring out into the area. You see that the wall has badger skulls hanging from it, about 6, in various places, marking like a warning, with an odd iridescent green paint splattered upon the walls, painted in an unknown language. the room exudes menace before some of the bones seem to jangle as you start looking over the threshold.
Well, that's downright disconcerting.
Can I close that? Put the
What
rope
are you
in the
doing?
way.
Is there anything valuable in there?
I mean, if you consider mounted badger skulls valuable, yes.
Oh.
You're more than welcome to go in and look for yourself.
I'm just saying, you usually don't guard things and try to warn people away from things unless there's a reason.
Death might be that
De-
reason.
deadly is generally the reason.
Why don't you go first? You can take my torch.
Sure. Shepherd, want to calm some souls?
We've got some calm souls out here.
Not greedy.
How did you cowards make it this far?
I still don't
Following
see you in the
you?
room, so big talk.
Fine.
Pull open the door.
Open the door back up.
As you open the door, you see badger corpses rise up as they shake. There are 5 of them as they look over. You see the wounds on their bodies seem to heal with a ghoulish green light as they are white-eyed as they chatter indistinctly, shambling towards you.
Alright, those things need to die on general principle. Hold the torch.
Alright, roll for initiative, please.
Why do you insist on fighting anything that shows up?
Team. Hey, we ran from the frickin'.
You thought about fighting.
If given the opportunity, you would have fought it.
Just
You're not wrong.
I know I'm not.
I'm just saying, like, if you're gonna go down that route.
I would just like to say for the record, it's not me this time.
I haven't been giving you a hard time on this character.
I've seen those looks across the table.
Okay, so I'm gonna go around the table and ask for initiative scores.
12.
Alright, Sheen, 12.
12.
Bernard, 12. Who had the higher initiative rating?
I do.
Next there.
19.
19, and Sheen.
That's not me.
Or not Sheen, Vesper.
The only cat here you should know, 14.
I don't know why I put Sheen twice.
Because you hate me.
Okay, 14. Whatever.
Think, Shepherd. The power to raise the dead.
Kind
Don't
of.
think that's something man intended.
Oh, well, why wouldn't you want to bring a dead loved one back? I mean, not like this, but if it could be done properly.
Maybe.
It would still depend on your definition of properly. You know?
Maybe a bit more clear-eyed, friendly, less. Though I don't know many badgers, so that could just be how they are.
I was going to say that. This could be friendly for a badger. Maybe they just want a hug. Go in and find out.
Oh, we'll find out, all right.
You so goddamn. Peanut butter on your nose.
Alright, Tagbard, you go first. What are you doing?
Charging and swinging my sword.
Alright.
With a 8.
I can guarantee that did not hit.
Hey, some zombies have low AC.
Some zombies do. This one does have a low AC, just not an 8 low AC.
This was
So-
such a great idea.
So- the
Tagbard,
zombie-
this is why you don't reopen doors I close.
The zombie that Tagbard swung at goes over and tries to slam into Tagbard. That is a 19. No, that's a 17.
Ah, that hits.
And
The 19 would have missed.
Because there's such a big difference there. Difference between life and death.
7 damage
Alright.
as it slams into you. Alright. Another zombie starts moving up as the badger-like creature moves in, goes in and tries to do a horrifying slam. Nat 20.
Oh, boy.
7 damage.
Seems to me like good ideas are not your specialty.
Vesper, besides sass, what are you doing this round?
A little bit more sass and also stabbing the first badger to have attacked. Or whichever, I guess which one is closest to me at the doorway.
It would be the same one that was on him
Yeah, I'll attack.
at this point.
Yeah. Stabby McStab stab.
Okay.
And that would be a 20 to hit.
That hits. And what's the damage type of your weapon?
It is piercing.
Alright, you're going to have to divide that by 2.
And that is 5, so 2.
Yep.
And I'm going to use my bonus action to stab again.
Okay.
And that would be a 16.
16 hits.
And 5, so 2 again.
Bernard.
Are they actually in the room or just in the doorway?
They ran into the room. He ran slightly into the room, so he's about 10 feet. They're about 10 feet into the room.
I can't let him die just because he's dumb.
I'm thinking you may have been right.
Well, because he had walked
Sorry,
into the room.
Yeah,
when
that-
sorry. Say that a little again,
I
a little
think you
louder.
may have been right. though.
Once again for the people in the back. Let's just make sure we got that on tape.
we do.
Going to move to the entrance.
Okay.
Going to tell you two, you need to get out of the room so we can close the door. And then I'm going to shoot one. The same one Vesper hit.
Okay. Vesper.
19.
Hits.
Okay.
But would a 17 hit?
Yes.
5, so 2 damage.
2 damage.
Consistency.
Super consistent as it turns out. Sheen?
Maybe,
Sorry.
Maybe a little healing.
Maybe. Or maybe I should just stay back in the back and...
Use some radiant damage.
Yeah, can't you like do some holy mumbo jumbo to
What?
your
There's
shepherd?
nano machines. It does nothing
There's
to the
zombies.
undead. Unless they're nano machine undead. But
I mean, what else? What other kind of undead?
I'll give you nice little...
radioactive undead.
So, what are you doing?
Can I see the book for a second?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm just gonna stare, do my thing and cast Sacred Flame on the one that's attacking him.
Okay, and
So
what's,
it's
does it have to make a save?
DC 13 Constitution.
Okay.
I have no idea what the constitution of a zombie would be.
Massive, as it turns out, because he gets a +5.
What?
Yeah.
I thought their con scores went down to 1.
Different systems.
Okay.
So that's a 22. I think he takes half damage, right? Or no damage?
I think so. Takes no damage.
No
then.
damage. So just...
Now it's glowing. Brightly.
Alright, one of the other zombies shuffles up and goes for Vesper. I'm certain that hits.
What was it?
I rolled an 18 before I had anything.
That might hit a little bit. Not a lot, though.
That's 7 damage.
They're very consistent as well.
They're super consistent.
You
as
just
it
had to open the door again.
Another one comes in and goes for Vesper. That misses.
Yay.
And evens odds. Would have done the same damage too.
Bring it on!
Does a 12 hit?
No.
Okay. That's so many 12 hit. Messed up. It was 11. So anyway, Tagbard, it's your turn.
Alright, I changed my mind. Get out of here! I'm going to attack one of them and then run away.
Okay.
Won't that provoke an attack of
It
opportunity?
will
It'll
attack
probably
to
provoke 5 attacks
2.
of opportunity.
Why not
Two,
just
actually.
disengage?
A standard action is a disengage, so they can't do an attack of opportunity against you.
Like the
We're
worm?
Nope. He's made a choice.
For Queen and Country. I forget what they call that.
And your weapon's slashing, right?
Yes.
It does not do half damage, so if you hit,
Nice. 13?
that hits.
Yes. Oh, wait a minute. That's not the right kind of die. Yeah. That'll be 12 damage.
That zombie is dead.
Ah! Maybe I changed my mind again.
So how many do we have
So
up?
you slice through the zombie, but you do notice that the text on the wall starts to glow, and you see a bolt of green lightning striking one of the skulls as you see bones growing out the back of the skull. It landing, and the skeletal forming muscles, skin, and fur. As another zombie appears at the bottom of the initiative order.
Can you feel me?
Hell no! Vesper, run!
Yeah, that was the original plan until you opened the door.
I didn't know they were going to start appearing out of thin air.
Attack of opportunity on you.
Okay.
That misses. It's its turn. It's going to turn on Vesper.
Thanks.
That's a 17 plus 4.
That hits.
Alright. That's 6 damage.
Ouch. Very much ouch.
Vesper, what are you doing?
First I'm going to glare a little bit at Tagbard,
Okay.
and then I'm going to run.
So you're disengaging?
Yes, I'm disengaging.
I close the door. And I put the rock in the way, and then I barricade the door.
Nice.
So you guys need to do strength checks. Whoever has the highest strength, do a at the advantage as you see the door going.
Mine's +2.
Yeah.
Plus
go.
3, I think, for Vesper.
Oh,
Yes.
okay. I wasn't certain if we
And
were...
it's just a check. You don't get the proficiency bonus.
A 4, so 7.
It's advantage.
Wait,
Advantage.
you get
Oh.
advantage.
Yeah,
You
advantage.
guys
Yep.
I can't tell what that is. Is that
6.
so 9?
Okay.
In my defense, though, I'm also very hurt at this point.
Yes.
Door swings open as the thing starts hanging through. As you see its hand starting to dissolve as it pulls back its hand,
Oh.
and they
Well,
move
that's
away from the
useful.
door. As you see,
So,
We can just fire arrows in.
they move to the sides of the door, basically.
I only have so many
decked
arrows.
Tagbard.
Huh?
I straight up deck you.
So.
Roll it, bitch.
Fucking straight check, come here. Fucking come here. Claws out, bitch.
Wow.
So that would be a 10.
Yeah, so you chip one of your claws on my armor.
So
That's fine. I think I've made my point at least. You can lead from the back,
I
sir.
deserve that, but now we know.
We knew
We knew
before.
you were.
We didn't know they were just gonna start reappearing.
There are 5 skulls mounted on a wall. What room do you walk into that's good that has 5 skulls mounted on the wall?
We really need this specific information to know that it was bad news, or we.
Actually,
Is
that's
there
a
a
good point.
roll we could make to try to understand what's written on the wall?
yes, it would be a no arcana.
Also,
okay.
can somebody please help me because I am bleeding? And it
You'll be
hurts.
fine. No, seriously, roll some of your freaking stamina
Stamina?
dice.
Can I borrow?
Those are my inspiring words.
That's a very inspiring. Thank you.
You get a d6 as well, if you want it.
Look, I messed up, but you're tough. Roll. You're right.
Oh, that's a lot.
10, 13.
13. Oh, that's perfect.
Exactly as much as you lost.
If only I hadn't needed to lose it in the first place. It's weird how that works.
And now we know. And if they're just sitting on a big old pile of plastic, they'll just keep doing that for the foreseeable.
Is plastic the only thing you think about?
Apparently,
No.
yes.
Occasionally, I think about killing bandits too, but apparently that's not acceptable either.
He also thinks about getting his companions killed. Is this what good dogs do?
You didn't
As you see
have to
Willard,
follow
you
me
see Willard in
in.
the background going, perhaps I should have stayed a commoner after all.
But you raise a good point, though. If there are only 5 skulls on the wall, maybe they can't just regenerate
No,
infinitely.
By
we're
all
not
means-
considering this.
By all means, we will move the rock and shut it behind you.
Not now, but
All in favor of locking Tagbard in the room with the creepy skulls? Say aye. Aye.
I
Try it.
would rather keep him here in case there are things worse than that.
on the plus side, I don't think we have to worry about the badgers.
I think there are still probably badgers here.
Who else would have set that up?
Set what up?
Obviously a trap for people coming through to steal things.
You think the badgers made a trap using zombie badgers?
Using their own dead? They seem to be resourceful people.
With the power to reanimate frickin' skeletons?
I mean,
That's the work of man right there.
That's a knowledge or a no check. No
Okay.
culture, I think, is what the skill is.
Be a
Yeah, no culture. So if anyone has no culture, you can make that roll.
I know it's not natural from no nature.
Oh, that,
I know that.
didn't even have to roll for that. You can just make a straight intelligence roll.
Yeah, that's a 5.
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
know
yours is
nothing.
just a 5, so you don't know anything.
I got 5. So
Okay.
I know that was not fun. I do know that much.
Oh, it was a little fun.
Do you want me to punch you again?
I killed one.
I guess you didn't though, because it kind of came back.
No, that was a different one.
Oh, I'm sorry. The undead creatures. They're all different, of course.
I mean,
let's go.
There's
Let's go.
still
Let's
a
go back
corpse
to the other
lying on the
door.
ground.
you could just argue that it was already dead, so he didn't kill it.
He just made it deader.
Made deader.
Aye. That's actually.
Re-deaded.
Aye.
Let's try the west door. And if I close this one, don't go back and open it back up.
I like that. Maybe if I become a noble, I'll use that for my catchphrase.
Make it deader.
Yes, making dead things deader.
You close the door. Just pulling back and slamming it. As the room goes quiet the second you close the door.
Wait, which door?
The one with the bag.
Oh, okay.
We may just want to consider putting that rock back there, just in case.
Yeah, no, the
Yeah.
brackets.
So you start retracing your steps, and you start opening the eastern door.
Western door?
Or western door, yes.
Okay.
Thank you. You open the western door. You see the corridor. The hallway opens up will allow two to walk side by side with each other. The path looks well traveled, despite or because of the scattered bones that litter the floor in random areas.
Ah, fun.
But they're more like small animal bones.
Small things biting my ankles are still not fun.
Like bird,
Chicken bones.
Yeah, like chicken bones, things like that.
Think of them as hairballs.
Oh no, zombie chickens.
You really have no room to be throwing any stones here, considering you got us into this mess with those damn zombies the first time.
Go.
Did we
I.
hear anything? I'm ignoring you.
You'll have to do
sir.
a notice check.
That is an 18.
You do hear echoing off in the distance, but you can't really put your paw on where that echoing is coming from, given the nature, so to speak, of this area. The hallway starts off small for about 10 feet. It's only about one by one who can go through before it opens up, and it quickly turns north before your vision. It looks like there are a few torches around the bend, as there is a bit of illumination.
Can I creep up to the bend to see if I can kind of
Yes, you can. Roll
sneak?
sneak.
That would be a 17.
You sneak well enough. However, moving through, you do slip a little bit to go near where one of the sets of bones are, just to get your feet right. And you take 3 points of damage, 1 piercing, 1 poison, as your foot steps down, and there is a needle built into the floor right next to where the bone is that stabs you in your foot.
Ouch.
You okay?
I'd like to inspect the needle, the trap.
Okay, you inspect it. It is a crude trap. It is a crude trap that seems to be placed right where the bone is.
Can the trap be removed from?
You can knock it over with your weapon to kind of knock it down.
I'll knock it over.
Okay.
And do I hear? Can I do a listen check to see if I hear anything? As if
Yeah.
somebody was watching for this trap to be sprung.
Yeah, you can do a notice check.
That would be a 15.
You don't hear anyone listening for it, but you do notice from the torchlight From behind you, there is another gleam of a needle, and is once again by another set of bones.
Stay away from the bones. They hurt. Very pokey.
Alright.
No fun.
You start to move through as you go around the bend, and you see several torches. One part of the bend switches up, and after just about 5 feet, bends over to the west, where you see another door with light underneath the doorway. You see that there are shadows dancing underneath the doorway as if people are moving back and forth. And to the north, there's another door that seems to have light coming from it that is also has several shadows dancing along it.
What if we take one of these bones, throw it down the hallway, and see if people come out?
Oh, more than welcome to try that.
And then you shoot them from a distance.
Depends on who they are.
You shoot the zombies from a distance, assuming that's what's...
I assume it's not zombies.
I would have said that before the last room. So, are we all in favor?
I
I will pick up the bone, making sure I don't get poked with the needle, and then I will lob it down the hallway.
Okay.
About how far away are the doors? Like how many, like 10,
Okay.
15 feet?
So the one to the western edge from the bend you're at, if you look up from the bend, you have to go up about 5 feet, and then another 20 feet to the west, there's another door. And then from the north of you, 25 feet to the northern door.
I'll do the western.
Okay.
Throw it towards the door.
You throw and it clatters and clanks as you do hear muffled whispers behind the door. Y'all need a notice check.
14.
4.
14.
14. The 14s hear muffled, some of the bones move. Then it's not the party. Keep the door at the ready. Do you think the northern watch will be fine? Perhaps. We'll wait to listen by the door. If they go north, we will reinforce our brothers.
Perhaps
All right.
throw a bone towards north.
We really want to alert both of them?
I'm not saying we
At
throw
once?
it all the way north. I'm just saying we throw it, make another noise in that general direction so we'll come out.
I think we should handle them one at a time.
Why don't we try talking to them?
It's a good idea. They're intelligent. Who knows what they're doing here?
Any idea that you think is a good idea instantly makes me nervous now. Do you want to go knock on the door?
I think we should alert. I'm fine with alerting both doors and seeing if we can talk to them. Because we
You
can't
can go
kill
first.
everything.
One at a time, but they said it's not the party, which implies there might be a party. Maybe slightly undead party by now, but...
I don't think they're talking about an undead party.
Go knock on the door then. Go.
I'll knock on the door.
You knock on the door as you hear him going, Kruthar, have you returned?
It is not. We are travelers who are not totally certain where we are.
Travelers. Back away from the door.
We'll do that. Gonna back away to the, T.
You back up as the door opens and you see inside. No. There are 4 or 5 badgers here. All quite alive. 4 of them have leather armor on, and 1 actually has scale mail on, who looks a bit hardier than his companions. As it looks at you and goes, dogs? Barkington?
No, we're not from Barkington.
Ah, then you must be from the Hidden Hills.
We are from Pugmire.
So, you're Westerners. Haven't seen Westerners this far out.
We found a map, but this place seems very, inhabited now.
It's one of the few safe places from the Ents and the Barathrags, though there are other creatures here. But it's fortified. Better than being out in the wilderness. I also need persuade checks, please.
Yes.
Just to get them a little more on your side.
I get advantage.
Alright, yeah, so you get the advantage.
Ooh, nice. It'll be a 22.
Alright, they go. I'll be damned if we let it be damned. It's good to see something that aren't monsters in this part. We've been at war so long with the
Agreed.
creatures of this place that, well, forgive me for saying, has made us a little more paranoid, but a little more willing to work with outsiders.
Cooperation is almost always the best course of action. Between dogs, cats, rats, badgers, and things that don't go bump in the night. See,
Our friend has made some poor decisions in our time out here.
she's constantly riding my tail, and yet I still cooperate. Anyways, you were expecting somebody else.
We sent out a party to gather some food and possibly raid for some goods.
Where?
Outside into the hilllands.
Haven't encountered. Were they badgers too?
Aye, a few of her kind.
I'm assuming at war you mean at war with pretty much everything that's not a badger. And even badgers.
Sometimes, yes, but no. We're talking more about the horn or the ram maraks. Horrible creatures, magic wielders.
Are they the ones who reanimate the dead?
They have that ability, or some of them, especially their alphas.
What do they look like?
Horrible creatures. Horns of a ram, long, slimy, scaly faces with sharp fangs, scaled bodies with overly long arms, horrible fingers and snubby legs. No tails.
And they're magic users.
We ran into a room with your kind mounted, skulls mounted on the sides.
That is the first room into their territory.
The first?
First?
Yes.
As in that was the entrance only?
There is another way.
With
As
more
you see,
zombies?
as he points over, that is the Northern Guard. They are the last defense before our territory, before you have to enter another room which we call the Disputed Corridor. We have set up many traps to keep the damn creatures from coming in and slaughtering our kind and making us their meat puppets. That is the other pathway into their territory.
Can they be killed?
Aye, they can be killed. We've killed a few.
But
Can they be reasoned with? They're obviously have some level of intelligence.
If they have reason, it is a twisted alien reason that is beyond our comprehension. We have tried to get one we captured and said we would give him mercy but he learned to the ways of the tribe and he laughed at us before screaming out and a strange bolt of energy launched from his mouth and injured one of our kind. He was then promptly executed, if it can be called a he.
But the zombie we killed, another one just came right back to life.
That is their magical runes. They are rune casters.
Does destroying the runes destroy the magic?
It destroys the reanimation magic, though the reanimated could still survive, but in a weakened state. We have done raids before, but they are rare, for they are resource intensive, and these creatures are strong. Stronger than our head splitters.
I think I already know the answer to this, but I'll ask anyways. Why do you stay here?
It is fortified, and while we have very dastardly neighbors to our east, to be out in the forest we lived for many years. And the forest is filled with monsters from all angles, and a fortified camp can still be attacked from the air by either the Barathrags or the Barul.
But why not leave the forest entirely?
The forest is our home, and it gives us cover from when we raid. That is the job of a badger.
These caves, these fortified positions that you have you mapped out the full extent of this area?
Of our area, yes, you would have to go further. We do not keep such maps here at the first gate. To do so would be suicide.
What about the seemingly empty suit of armor in the entryway?
We know nothing of that.
Really?
We have seen no suit of armor.
It was underneath the statue.
We never dealt with the statue.
Oh, well.
Would we be able to get passage further into your territory for trading purposes and to perhaps get a map so we can avoid the territory of these creatures that are so dangerous?
We will send a runner. Please, come in. We cannot leave the door opened in case there is a raid from our enemies.
No.
The door is locked, and it gives us time to possibly gather reinforcements from the Watch.
Do they
Who's
raid
to the-
often?
They raid often enough, and when you least expect it.
Are these the Ramaraks, or are these the ones to the east you mentioned?
The Ramaraks, which are they are to the west of us.
Ah.
Our eastern foes are outside, and those are the Ents.
Ants, yes.
But they are far, many miles from here, and we know to avoid their territory.
How many ants are there, would you say?
It is a colony, so many, beyond count for us. Beyond the resources we're willing to spend. We must survive.
Have you
And to
ever
attack blindly and stupidly.
tried domesticating them?
That is a foolish notion.
Are you sure?
Absolutely.
Have you ever tried it though? So you don't have the knowledge, first-hand knowledge to know if it was foolish.
Have you ever seen a warrior ant?
Yes, in fact, I've written one.
Are you sure it was a warrior, not one of the drones?
They were drones, Vesper.
Either way, we
Do you
rode
know
them.
how ants work?
No, I don't. I don't. I've had other things to focus on, like keeping you from getting cut in half by a zombie badger.
Ah, one of many. So,
Unfortunately.
you're raiders. You don't want to rejoin civilization, do...
Your civilization does not interest us, stranger. As they
Well,
close the door behind you, and you hear the several locks just clunk, clunk.
well, while I don't agree that badgers are destined to be only raiders, if you're comfortable here, then I don't see much reason why we shouldn't help you out, make life a bit easier for you.
Good. Perhaps you will be able to talk to our chieftain in time then.
Marvelous.
And pow. After a few minutes, the badger returns and goes, "The chief is willing to see them. We'll send an escort with you," as Willard goes, Of course, a royal escort for us."
Of course.
The doorway opens up as you go down south through a hallway. The hallway bends back to the north, and you travel for quite some time, noticing another branch of the hallway, heading west, before you turn east and enter another circular room. You see 4 elite guards in scale mail standing, with the chieftain on a makeshift throne of the various bits of rubble found in this place. Behind him sits what appears to be his wife and his child. "I'm Kulamark, the chief of these badgers. What dogs from the outside world? I've been told you wish to barter and speak of peace," as he leans upon his blade. He is easily 4 to 5 inches taller than the other badgers, and broader of shoulder.
Aye, my liege. I am Tagbard. These are my companions. We are with the Royal Society of Pugmire, and we have come here to help you with your occult problem in this particular establishment.
I see.
All we ask in exchange for our services in clearing out your dungeon is the opportunity to keep whatever we may find and liberate from these so-called Ramaraks.
Very well. I find your terms acceptable.
Why, thank you.
I shall also tell you, to the north, there is a room my men have not explored. It is a strange room, filled with odd things. I choose for them not to explore it, for I do not wish to waste men, in case it is dangerous.
We would be more than happy to explore this room for you and ensure its safety, and that of your men.
I appreciate the offer, and accept your aid if you so choose. We also have resting quarters. I assume none of you are wed?
No.
then you will rest with the single warriors.
Much obliged.
We should
Do you by any chance have any maps of the territories you have explored?
We do. You can seek the lady Bridget, who sits in the room of the unwedded warriors.
Thank you, Cool Mark. We are very grateful. So I assume you go attend on Bridget.
But now all I hear his name is Cool Mark.
maybe rest a little bit, you know.
You, as he points to Vesper. Yes. We have several of your kind who have joined us, and one who has come with a strange one of our kind. Do you know him?
Perhaps if I could see them, I might know more of them, might recognize them.
There, I see. He is a gray cat with gray clothing and a rapier and a short sword. His travel companion is one of my kind, a badger, tall, lanky, taller than myself, with highlights of blonde upon his face and brow.
I don't think I was.
Is
What
that your...
You don't.
No. I don't believe I know anybody by that description, but I may have heard of them throughout my time exploring. Would it be possible for me to meet?
If he returns, they went out with our raiding party and parted ways, saying that they were looking for something related to, I do not remember, something involving a being of eyes. Beyond that, I am at a loss.
A being of eyes?
Well, if they do return,
More eyes than any cat, badger, or dog or rat has.
Spider?
No, not a spider, not that I know of.
well, if they do return, I would be very honored to meet them.
They're an odd sort. I don't know if the honor will remain, but
We tend
Fair
to
enough.
pick up odd sorts along the way.
as Willard goes.
Our little ragtag band.
Colin ragged.
You.
What
that's
else
I'm
do you
calling
need to
that.
know?
These tags
I think that's
are
it for now.
pristine.
Got one question.
Oh god, that's fantastic.
When we first arrived, your men mentioned a town or some place where dogs lived called the Hidden Hills.
Yes.
Where is that in relation to here?
Hidden Hills is to the southeast of here. You must pass through some more of the hills. You must go past a Barathrag nest. The forest begins to clear out before you enter farmland. We have traded and raided with the Hidden Hills before, depending
you.
on the difficulties of such times.
In the nest that you mentioned, how many creatures live?
We don't count. We try and avoid them. Barathrags are rather destructive creatures, and their ability to hide in the forest to make strike and run assaults make them a dangerous foe.
They seem kind of cowardly.
They do not attack stupidly. They like to watch, and it seems that they gain some sort of grim satisfaction in creating paranoia or a false sense of security before they strike.
Well, one problem at a time.
So wise just
I would say so myself. Well,
Excellent. So, see to these maps, and then
perhaps retire for the night to recover before going out.
I thought you were fully healed.
I am.
Ah.
so I will send word first. Stay here a few moments. My guard will go out to speak to the others so you are not attacked.
We appreciate your hospitality.
Indeed.
We appreciate you here. More taking the brunt of the Ramarok's assault. Well, that alleviates things for my people.
That is what the Royal Society is chartered to do.
I have no idea what this Royal Society is, but I'm glad you are proud of them.
We're trying to make a place in Pugmire where all creatures can come and be accepted. If you ever decide to give up the raiding life, come find us.
That is unlikely, but I thank you for the offer. We are people who value the freedom of the woods, even if it comes with danger. As the guard comes back and going, "They know, my lord.
Excellent.
Peace be upon you, for now.
And also on you.
A badger's life never has peace." As you exit, start heading out, you do find the room of the unwedded. The room is fairly large. It's well over 55 feet in length and about 50 feet in width, with several cots, some small fires, and you notice sentries standing around cracks along the walls, especially around the back. As you hear one of the sentries going, as you see several just out and asleep, as one goes, "They were busy battling the Horn Rocks the day before and require rest. Please disturb them not."
Of course. We got a taste of them ourselves.
Horrible creatures.
Where can we find Bridget?
As you see one. "I'm Bridget. What do you want, short stuff?"
Maps.
Yes. She pulls out the map and hands it to you.
Oh.
"We have several, but I was told that we would give you some supplies within reason.
You seem to be keeper of the maps.
Alright.
And I will draw the map after the recording. There's a couple cots over yonder if you need rest. Not sure where the sun is right now. It's hard to tell in these places. There's still that kind of dim light of the torches all around."
It's been a long day. Tell me, these reanimated corpses, is there anything particularly useful against them? Are they vulnerable to fire?
Blades. Blades are well.
Fair
It
enough.
seems weapons that pierce and bludgeon do them very little harm. Everything else is just as effective.
So, chop them into little tiny bits.
You'll have to get to the runes, though, if you want to keep it down as many as possible before moving on.
And how do we erase the runes?
Strike the walls.
Oh, does bludgeoning work for that?
It does.
Okay.
You have to do enough. The paint is hardy, and it chips with some difficulty.
Oh.
Once chipped enough, though, the spell is broken.
Does the spell require skulls or other bones in the room to continue to reanimate, or is it...
Yes. It also has a rebounding effect once they've chipped, so you will get knocked back. And likely take a few.
So the two options are to destroy the runes or destroy the material used by the rune.
They said there was also another entrance in.
Well, and more rooms. So, fire, water, alcohol, those don't work on the runes?
No.
Old-fashioned way. And can they be taken out with a sword as well, or will we
That
need
they can.
hammers? Aye. Sounds good. And now I know. Next time we wind up in that other room, just take out the writing.
Yes. Well, if you so choose. It is a difficult raid. We do it rarely. Typically only if the Ram Marak are, well, not
Enforce.
expecting things.
They won't be expecting us, I tell you that.
Perhaps not. But do not underestimate them.
Fair point, fair point.
They know many of the dark magics.
We've got a shepherd with us. The hand of man itself.
While you wield man's power, whatever that truly means, they seem to wield the power of the unseen.
All the more reason to promote them to full dead.
Yes.
How many days has it been since we headed out?
This would be day 3.
Well, let's get some rest then. Gonna have a fun couple of days ahead of us.
Alright.
Well, sleep well. And we will call it there. One of our players has to leave early, and Liam was at his high school reunion. So, I think this is a good place to stop. Thank you to everyone who listened. Thank you. Goodbye.